ran. It only ran a few minutes before it just initiated shutdown out of nowhere. That's not a great feeling to have when you're out there trying to camp and you're not sure if your diesel heater is going to work and keep you warm. There should be really no reason for it to just be shutting itself off. On the table with me here is our diesel heater out of the Luna, along with our repair kit. The last time we tried using the diesel heater out on a really cold trip, each night it was having issues staying running. It would start up and it would get all the way to stable combustion like it was running. The fan would ramp down, the fuel pump would ramp down, and it would run for 45 seconds to 2 minutes and then just turn off. Not a voltage loss. It would go through its shutdown process as if it was told to shut down. After about 4 or 5 restarts, I managed to keep it running all night. It's about 20 degrees warmer out today than those nights, but I still want to see if I can recreate the problem. My running theory right now is a glow plug that's going bad or a faulty temp sensor, both of which I have replacements for in this kit, along with new gaskets, and we're going to go ahead and clean it out, put it back together, and just see if that fixes the problem before I relent to the fact that I may have to buy a whole new diesel heater. All right, so we're back here at the back of the Luna. I have it at level 1, which is usually what we run it at, so we'll keep an eye on the voltage there for the battery. That thing typically does dip into the 11s when the glow plug starts up. So here we go. The pump just kicked in. We'll watch the screen here for any errors, but it was not giving me any errors the last time. So there you see voltage drops to the low 11s. That's normal during startup. There you go. You can see the voltage is back to almost normal. It should hit stable combustion here any minute. All right, there you go. Stable combustion. We'll let it run for a couple minutes here and see what happens. I'm going to turn it up. I tried doing that at camp one morning to run it super hot, thinking, oh, maybe things are dirty. I need to, run it real hot for a little bit. And even then, it only ran for a few minutes before, again, it just initiated shutdown out of nowhere. All right, it's been running for a good 4 or 5 minutes. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to recreate the problem. We're going to go ahead and shut it down. It doesn't look like it's going to do it again. We'll be back at the table. One quick note before we start. Some people suggested maybe that the fuel had started to gel, but at 25 degrees, I really don't think that was quite cold enough for the fuel to start gelling. That, and the fuel was purchased in January, so it was fresh fuel, and in the Portland area, if they do have a winter diesel mix, that should have been in the tanks already at that point. Okay, we went ahead and raised the table up to workbench height. Let's get this thing torn apart. The hard part is going to be getting at the bolts on the bottom that is holding this to the platform itself. I just want to give you guys a shot of what I'm looking at here. Right there in the center, 10 millimeter bolts. So we got to get those off, and then we should be able to lift this thing free. Okay, let's see if we can lift this free now. Yep. Just like that. I'm going to move this out of the way so we have more room to work. All right, once you have those bolts free, you can pull off the little silicone cover. And then the only thing holding the case together is that cap right there. And this should just separate. Yep. I'm going to flip it over. There you have it. So we are going to pull this bad boy right out of here. Just like that. Now, right here is your glow plug. Right down here is the temperature sensor. And then this whole housing will come off so you can get inside to the glow plug screen and we can see what the inside of this thing looks like. The first thing we're going to do is get this temperature sensor off. It's just held in place with this little spring. I mean, it looks okay. We're going to change it anyway. So the first thing we're going to do is get the control board out of the way. And we are just going to unplug everything. There. Going to remove this so that we can get at the glow plug. Now, what's really nice in this kit is it comes with a special socket that has that nice little slot in it so that you can get past the wires and get to the glow plug. There you go. So it just goes right in there, and then you just use a screwdriver or whatever to spin it out of there. Wow, that was not in there very tight. I mean, that doesn't look bad at all, but we're going to change it anyway. We're going to get this bad boy opened up and see what the inside of this guy looks like. Okay, and now this should come right off. I mean, compared to the new one, I don't know if this one started off green. There's the new one and the old one next to each other. All right, so now to get the combustion chamber out, there are 4 more Allen bolts in there, and then you need to be careful. That's where the glow plug goes, and there's a little grommet there, and it runs out to your fuel line. You want to be careful when you pull this out that you don't tweak or kink your fuel line. There should be another gasket under the combustion chamber as well. I mean, there's no buildup on that at all. I mean, there's a little bit here, but that's not even worth cleaning. That's pretty dang clean. But again, we don't run it all that often. I wasn't really expecting a ton of buildup in there, but there is almost none. I am going to link this little kit down in the description below. It comes with everything you need, including a little tool to pull the screen out. Whoop, there it went. Let's see. I mean, this does look a little clogged. That does look a little clogged up. I just don't know if that was the problem. Simple lack of fuel. I mean, maybe if it wasn't getting enough fuel through this screen, it would shut down. All right, so in this little kit, it includes the new screen and this handy dandy screen pusher tool, so you don't mess up the new screen putting it back in. So we're gonna put the new screen in there. There you go, get it started. And then use your little screen pusher tool and set it all the way in. This little hole is clear. Everything looks good. We're going to replace this gasket. Here is the replacement for that. But there you go again. You really can't mess up putting this back in the wrong way because of the shapes that are in here. We're going to work this back down in. Just like that. Let's put these back in. Remember, when you're tightening this back up, to tighten in a crossing pattern. I am going to put the new glow plug in before I put the top on. Just that way I can see what I'm doing in here. When you're putting this back together, be careful not to cross thread it. I was trying to do that. And I'm going to give this just a little extra because I did not like how loose that was when we pulled it apart. Not that I want to go crazy with it. Then you want to make sure you slide your boot back in place. Doing it this way too helps you make sure you can see that the boot is all in place properly. Very easy to put this back together the right way. The shape only goes one way. Make sure everything's lined up. Again, tighten in a crossing pattern. Now we can put our control board back on and plug everything back in. Oh, I put it on backwards. Make sure you put it back on the right way. Now, what's nice about this is you really can't mess these plugs back up when you plug them back in. My new temp sensors are in here. I can only find them in a 2-pack, but I will link these down in the description as well because it is separate from the rebuild kit. It does not include a new temp sensor. All right, I'm gonna get this thing all back together off camera, and then we'll plug it all back in and test it and see what happens. Back here at the Luna, everything is put back together. At this point, I'm not sure exactly what was wrong. Since I couldn't duplicate it again, my only hope is to go out camping in the cold again and hope that it works. But that's not a great feeling to have when you're out there trying to camp and you're not sure if your diesel heater is going to work and keep you warm. I hear the fan kicking on, so that's a good sign. Okay, there goes the fuel pump. Well, she sounds like she fired up. And we have stable combustion. Well, it looks like it's working. I'm going to get everything cleaned up and I'll give you my final thoughts on this whole situation. All right, back inside, all cleaned up. nice and warm, we really don't have a definitive answer to what might have happened. The only thing I can think of is, depending on the diesel mixture, maybe it was, thickening up just a bit, and that combined with the dirty screen was limiting fuel, causing intermittent combustion, even though it would light up and stay for a couple seconds, but then, it would start having issues with fuel. Other than that, everything is speculation at this point. So the next real test will be when we go out and it's, in the 20s or lower again. At least now I know that I've basically changed all the serviceable components and set myself up for it to not fail in the future. Maybe I'll get a little bit of anti-gel solution to put in each tank. Hopefully this helps some of you that have diesel heaters. I still highly recommend them. They are fantastic. I will link both that repair kit and the temperature sensors down in the description below. They are fairly universal for most diesel heaters. It may or may not work with yours. Just double check your user manual or with the manufacturer and make sure. I hope you found this informative. We will see what happens next time, and I will see you in the next video.